Dizzy Dreamer ASMR. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dizzy Dreamer ASMR. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Tonight I thought I'd do a fun video where I'm going to be going over my most anticipated movie releases from summer 2025, from May, June, July, into August. Before we get started, I'd love to hear what movies you're excited to see, and let me know if I've missed any really cool ones. I've tried to consult multiple sources for this, but there's definitely something that slipped through the cracks. So, let's get straight into it. We are going to start with the month of May. And for the month of May, the first movie that I'm excited to see is Friendship, starring Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. The synopsis for this movie goes as follows. Suburban dad Craig falls hard for his charismatic new neighbor as Craig's attempt to make an adult male friend threaten to ruin both of their lives. The trailer for this looks hilarious. I'm a big fan of Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd, obviously, but Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave series on Netflix, very good. I don't think any of my friends or family watch it, but I really do appreciate his humor, and it's just so stupid good, so this movie looks fabulous, and I am for sure going to make an effort to see it in theaters. I'm also looking forward to seeing Final Destination Bloodlines. So, the newest chapter in New Line Cinema's bloody successful franchise takes audiences back to the very beginning of Death's twisted sense of justice. Plagued by a violent recurring nightmare, college student Stephanie heads home to track down the one person who might be able to break the cycle and save her family from the grisly demise that inevitably awaits them all. This is starring Tony Todd, Brec Bassinger, Richard Harmon, among many other people. And I'm excited to see it, and I'm going to see it in theaters. I'm excited to see it because the last Final Destination movie came out in 2011, and this series is what introduced me to horror. Ironically, I hate body horror, and Final Destination is a lot of body horror, but it was the very first movie that I watched in the horror thriller genre. My dad introduced it to me, and since then I've been hooked, so I'm definitely going to be watching this in theaters with my father. Lilo and Stitch, the live-action version of the movie, is also coming out in theaters. I think a lot of us know the story of Lilo and Stitch, but if you're not familiar, here's a very short summary. A fugitive alien helps a lonely Hawaiian girl mend her broken family. This version of the movie stars Maya Kealoha, Zach Galifianakis, Courtney B. Vance, Billy Magnussen, among many other people, and I was obsessed with Lilo and Stitch growing up. I remember being really excited to go on the Stitch's Great Escape ride at Disney World, and then being completely traumatized afterwards. But yeah, this looks very promising, and it looks really funny and also heartfelt at the same time, just like the original is, so this should be a great movie. Another movie coming out in May is Karate Kid Legends. So this one says, after moving to New York City with his mother, Kung Fu prodigy Li Fong struggles to let go of the past as he tries to fit in with his new classmates. When a new friend needs his help, Li enters a karate competition, but his skills alone aren't enough. With the help from Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso, he soon learns to merge two styles into one for the ultimate martial arts showdown. This is starring Ralph Macchio, Jackie Chan, and Ben Wong. It's actually introducing Ben Wong. I don't think he's been in anything too big yet. I I never watched Cobra Kai, so I'm not up to date with what Ralph Macchio's been doing in this storyline. I think he must still play the same character. I think that's the whole point of Cobra Kai, but I'm looking forward to seeing this movie because the first Karate Kid movie is what introduced me to 80s movies in general. Like, I saw it when I was quite young, and as a kid growing up in the 2000s, all I really wanted to watch was, like, you know, Barbie princess movies and things like that, and just, like, current things that were coming out in theaters. So watching this introduced me to that world, and it's like, hey, things that were made a few years ago are also still really good. And from here I watched, like, The Goonies, stuff like that. So this Karate Kid has a special place in my heart. It's a great movie, and I'm excited for this reboot. So moving on to the month of June now. The first movie that I'm excited to see is Ballerina. This takes place during the events of John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, where Eve Macaro, probably played by Ana de Armas, begins her training in the assassin traditions of the Resca-Roma. The stars, like I said, Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves is in here, Londa Reddick, Norman Reedus, which is interesting because I don't think he's been in any John Wick movies before. Lorenzo Izzo, there's other people in here too. I'm going to try to watch this in theaters because I like supporting movies that have Keanu Reeves in it. My boyfriend and I have also made an effort to go see the John Wick movies preceding the first one in theaters. So once we watched it, we watched one of them in 4D, and our seats were moving, and there was like smoke, and it was insane. It was such an experience. Another movie that's coming out in June is The Life of Chuck, described as a life-affirming, genre-bending story about 3 chapters in the life of an ordinary man named Charles Krantz, starring Tom Hiddleston, Mia Sara, Jacob Tremblay, Mark Hamill, Matthew Lillard. The list goes on. You can read the poster here. Kate Siegel. Lots of people. I'm going to try to watch this in theaters because it's a Stephen King story, and I'm going to support Stephen King in any way I can. I'm going to try to make an effort to read this short story before I watch the movie. Right now I'm reading Gerald's Game by Stephen King, so after I'm done that, I'll try to read the short story so that I know what's in store for me. But yeah, this is just really exciting, and I can't wait to see it be brought to life by these big-time actors. I'm also excited to see I Don't Understand You, starring Nick Kroll, Amanda Seyfried, Andrew Rannells, Morgan Spector. This is the synopsis. Stranded in rural Italy without transportation or language skills, an American couple on the verge of adopting tries to reconnect during a disastrous vacation as their fears and relationship problems threaten to boil over. This sounds pretty freaking funny. Nick Kroll is one of my favorite comedians, and I like how the first tagline you see on the poster is describing the movie as demented. That's when you know it should be good. I love stupid humor, so I'm very much looking forward to this. The next movie is How to Train Your Dragon, but the live action version. Excuse me. If you haven't seen the cartoon, I will give you the synopsis. Because this is literally just a one-for-one remake of the cartoon, just like Lilo and Stitch. On the rugged Isle of Berk, a Viking boy named Hiccup defies centuries of tradition by befriending a dragon named Toothless. However, when an ancient threat emerges that endangers both species, Hiccup's friendship with Toothless becomes the key to forging a new future. Together they must navigate the delicate path towards peace, soaring beyond the boundaries of their worlds and redefining what it means cinematography looks great, and the acting looks really solid too. And Mason Thames, I believe he's the one who plays Hiccup here. He was also in The Black Phone. If you guys ever watched that movie, he was the main character there, the main little kid. So, yeah. Materialists, starring Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal, is described as a movie in which a young New York City matchmaker's lucrative business gets complicated as she finds herself torn between the perfect match and her imperfect ex. I'm intrigued by this movie because the cast is just so attractive. You know what I mean? Like, they are very attractive people. And the plot itself sounds very interesting, and I'm always down for a little dramatic, romantic comedy kind of thing. So it's also an A24 movie, and they seem to be producing or putting out some really good movies. So I will definitely be giving this one a watch. We are moving on to the month of July. In July, we have a reboot of a classic horror movie. I'm not sure if it's a franchise. I don't know if there's been like a number 1 or 2, or sorry, a number 2 or 3, because I've actually never watched the original. I know, sue me. I say I like horror movies, but I've never watched This Moon. But anyway, so this is a reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it sounds like it takes place in the same universe. Because this is the description. When 5 friends inadvertently cause a deadly car accident, they cover up their involvement and make a pact to keep it a secret rather than face the consequences. 1 year later, the past comes back to haunt them as they learn someone knows what they did last summer. Wow. Stalked by a mysterious killer, they soon seek help from 2 survivors of the legendary Southport Massacre of 1997. So it sounds very similar to, I think kind of what Scream did with their franchise. They're seeking the help of like people who have already been through the same thing. Yeah, Madeline Klein is in this, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Austin Nichols, J. Suey Wonders, lots of other people that are great actors. So, in my opinion, at least, yeah, why wouldn't I want to watch this? You know, it looks very cool. I'm also excited to see The Fantastic Four First Steps. This is starring Vanessa Kirby, Julia Garner, Joseph Quinn, Pedro Pascal, Eben Moss Bachrach, is that his name? John Malkovich. Because this movie's been hyped up for such a long time, and the casting is very, very well done, in my opinion at least, as somebody who hasn't really watched a lot of Fantastic Four content. The movie is described as follows: Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and the Thing face their most daunting challenge yet as they defend Earth from Galactus and Silver Surfer. My boyfriend and I make it a point to go see most of the new Marvel movies that release. Like, we saw the Captain America Brave New World, we just saw Thunderbolts, which was very good. I really enjoyed it. It was very refreshing coming from Marvel. So we're definitely going to be seeing this as well. And the theming looks so good. I'm a sucker for a theme, okay? If anything, theming will always make me happy. I'm also excited to see Happy Gilmore 2. I didn't realize this was coming out until I read it on a list, and I couldn't really find a poster for it. Because, you know, the plot hasn't even been announced yet, at least as of when I'm making this video. The original plot of the first movie: failed ice hockey player who discovers an unlikely talent for golf. Was great. I unironically love all of Adam Sandler's movies. So this is a straight to Netflix release, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully there isn't too much terrible product placement, especially like going on Netflix. I really hope there isn't. And it looks like a lot of the cast are reprising their role Downstairs. Last night at 2:17 a.m., every child from Mrs. Candy's class woke up, got out of bed, went downstairs, opened the front door, walked into the dark, and they never came back. Dot, dot, dot. I am so interested in this because this plot sounds insane. This sounds like it was a book. Yeah, it sounds like very intriguing. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this plot plays out and like what the twist is going to be at the end and like why these children ran away. Coming from the director of Barbarian, it should be pretty screwed up. So we'll see how that goes. This movie also stars Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, Alden Ehrenreich, and Benedict Wong. I feel like I've said Julia Garner's name at least like 3 times in this video. She's gonna be in a lot of things. Yeah, so this is definitely a watch for me. Also, how could I not put this movie here? Like, I grew up watching Freaky Friday over and over and over again on DVD. My goodness, that DVD must have been worn out by the time we were done with it because we just kept playing it, playing it, playing it. The song that they play at the end, I wanna grow up, don't wanna get out, hey, take me away. That song is so good. I should add it to my playlist. This is the plot. Tess and Anna discover that lightning may indeed strike twice as they navigate the myriad of challenges that come when 2 families merge. It stars Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, Mitra Ramakrishnan, Julia Butters, and I'm definitely going to be watching this in theaters with my besties, with my mom, with my sister, and it should be a great time. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate the support you guys have been giving me. And of course, like I said, I want to know what movies you guys are excited to see. Maybe by the end of the summer, I'll do a review video reviewing all of these movies, saying if I liked them, if I didn't like them, if I actually ended up watching them.